Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad I can do this in English. I'm originally from Switzerland, but my German is pretty bad at this point, so I'm very happy to do this in English. And kind of a tough act to follow after all that Rocky Balboa talk. Thanks a lot for setting me up. So I'm a partner in a company called Innovate Partners in California, and we are kind of a mix of a VC and an incubator. And Pear is one of our portfolio companies. So Pear stands for Performance Enhancing Audio Research. And we started about 5-6 years ago. And this whole notion of man versus machine really has been kind of our main theme. And it all started, before we started Pear, we had a company called Ultimate Ears, which you might be familiar of. You probably see the Bluetooth speaker everywhere that kind of looks like a Red Bull can. And before that, we made in-ear monitors for musicians. So like 90% of musicians use Ultimate Ears headsets. So if you go to a concert and you see that blob in the ear of a musician, that is most likely Ultimate Ears. And so we were approached by Lance Armstrong and his coaching team to create a wireless set of earphones so they could coach him in real time based on his biometrics. So the coach would be in the car following him, looking at his biometric data and basically tell him how to train. And we really thought this was an incredible notion that you can do real-time smart coaching. And as you can see on the right side there, we started out with a hardware product, which is pretty comical in retrospective because you had to plug it into your computer, download the workout, unplug it, do your workout. You know, you had to have a heart rate sensor, you had to have a foot pod, and you had to click in your nano into the device for music. So it's pretty funny looking back at this. So once, obviously, smartphone became really powerful and Bluetooth low power and wearables came along, we fully pivoted to a mobile platform. But the vision was the same, right? We wanted to create a coach in your ear. And just your coach in your music, nothing else. So really, we don't believe having to stare at tiny screens or your phone, but we believe audio coaching is a really powerful way to engage a user. And so this is kind of our mission, right? We really want to take personal data and turn it into personal coaching. And so if you kind of look at our platform, we really provide interactive coached workouts to engage a user, intelligently based on what they're doing. So we're looking at their heart rate, we're looking at their movements, we're looking at their pace, their repetitions, whatever. And then we want to deliver a contextual and personalized coaching, which that's really what this is about, right? We want to have a real-time personalized coaching experience. And so what is real-time interactive? I mean, this is just one example, right? And this is a heart rate-based workout, but it really depends what the coach creates, right? It could be pace-based, could be repetition-based, could be heart rate-based. But this gives you kind of an idea, right? We start out with like a zone 1 warm-up, and then we give you like quick intervals, and then we have longer intervals, and then we coach in real time. So if you are actually in the target zone, the coach will say something like, hey, great job, keep going. If you're above or below the target zone, the coach could say, if you're way off, the coach will say something witty. If you're very close, the coach will say, like, speed up a little bit, slow down a little bit. And then the other thing obviously that makes the system smart is we're looking at biometric markers, right? And currently, the three main things we look at is VO2 max, which is essentially your fitness level. The other very important thing is intensity balance, is like how much of your workouts are in high intensity versus low intensity. And then the third marker we look at is activity class, which is kind of interesting because it's a hybrid of baseline activity, but also dedicated workout sessions. And that's a relatively fast-moving market, so if you don't work out for a week, that will come down pretty quickly, versus VO2 max tends to be fairly slow-moving, right? If you don't work out for a week or two, it's not going to drop, but it will drop over time if you don't work out over a month. We're working on several new biometric markers. One is stress levels, one is sleep quality, and the third one we're working on right now is basically readiness level, which we've been starting to test with some of our partners. But so basically, you stand still for 2 minutes, we look at your heart rate variability, and we can tell you what your readiness level is. One thing that we really, at least personally, I think is the most important thing is authenticity. So when we create content, we create the content with professional coaches and professional athletes. And probably the most fun part is we really ask the coaches to let their personality shine through. And one of my favorites is Rennie. She's a 3-time Ironman champion. She's got an amazing Australian accent. And she says things like that, "Suck it up, princess, you got this." So it's really engaging and really in a way that makes sense to the user. And obviously this is great for her kind of demographic, right? Like triathlete. If you were like in some weight loss program, "Suck it up, princess" probably wouldn't be the ideal way to talk to a user. And so we really created a broad library of interactive workouts, ranging from walking to running to rowing, all the way down to recovery, guided meditation, and all that. The latest thing we added to it is symbiotic music. So instead of just providing a normal track or a playlist, what we actually letting the coach or the content creator to actually specify what kind of music is played in what kind of coaching zone. So for like a warm-up, you can have a very mellow play, and then when it goes into a higher zone, we can actually crossfade into more aggressive music, then crossfade back into mellow, crossfade. So the music really follows your workout. So it's really kind of symbiotic. And so this is just kind of a quick overview. Like I mentioned before, we have a large library of interactive content, and then we run on iOS, we run on Android, and very important for us, obviously, is wearables, because without the wearable, our system is kind of blind. We don't know what you're doing, we don't know who we are, we don't know your fitness level, we don't know your load in, we don't know your recovery. So we have really great partnerships with Apple and Samsung to actually run our coach engine natively on an Apple Watch or Samsung Gear. So you can actually transfer your workout onto the wearable and then execute it on the wearable. So you don't need your phone anymore. All you need is Bluetooth earphones and a wearable, and you start it from there. So one thing, as we kind of going through this journey of man versus machine, we're starting to look, what works and what doesn't work. And one thing that we really see over and over is there's 2 pain points that an app by itself really struggles oftentimes to solve, and that's uncertainty and motivation, right? It's like, what do I have to do? How often? How hard? And then obviously motivation. And so we really thought about this and what can we do for that? And so the solution really was somewhat obvious. We want to bring in humans into this. So we wanted to combine the best of digital coaching with the best of human guidance. So this idea of human touch fitness is really what we tackled next. And so we wanted to kind of create a set of tools to help close the digital gap, not just for users, but for gym owners, for coaches, and wellness professionals. And one thing that became very clear is the current enterprise apps are terrible for consumers. The experience is really poor. And in the same token, the consumer fitness apps are not a good fit for a gym or for coaches, right? So we really wanted to create a platform that could go for both. And so we created a coach tool, a comprehensive coach tool that allows coaches to coach, to engage, and really get insights of what their clients are doing. And on a basic level, it's the coach can send interactive workout to the client. Right away, the client gets a notification, hey, your coach sent you a workout. As soon as the client does the workout, the coach gets a notification saying like, hey, your client X just did the workout, and you get full biometric insights. You can see, did they do the workout? Did they follow the coaching properly? And you can see their weight, if they have a connected scale. You can see the fitness level, you see their activity class, so you get a full biometric insights, what your clients are doing. And then the third thing, which we believe is really important, is the communication between client and coach. So we actually just added a feature that allows a coach to insert a voice memo before a workout. So you put in your earphone, the first thing you hear is your coach saying like, hey, last week was terrible, we really need to pick it up this week, or you did amazing, we can step it up now. And so we want to add more and more of these kind of intimate touches to our platform. This I don't have to spend too much time on. We also created what's called an admin console. This is more like for the operator of a gym or for a corporate wellness organization, where they can really see, get insights in what their coaches are doing, which coach has the most engagement, which coach has the most success. It lets you manage locations, lets you manage coaches, lets you manage members. And then this is our content tool. And so the idea is really, it's kind of like a garage band for fitness. It allows you to create content. And so we now train our clients and partners on this tool so they can create their own content. And it's pretty straightforward. It's very drag and drop. You drag different coaching zones, you add the prompts, you add the conditional prompts, and then you can publish it to your organizations or to your client. And so I'm just going to show a couple of case studies. We just deployed with a company named Fitness SF, which is a high-end gym in San Francisco. And we did basically a full customized platform for them, mobile and wearable, that allows interactive coaching. It allows for people to kind of read up on their coaches, and if they like a certain coach, they can actually say, like, hey, I would like to train with you. That coach gets a notification. They can connect in the gym or over texting. And we also included the QR thing, which can be used for many things. It lets you to check in at the gym, it lets you pay for certain things, or it lets you identify yourself to a piece of equipment. So you can walk up to a certain type of equipment with your QR code, and it will remember your last setting or your last weight setting or speed or whatever, and go from there. Another partner we work very closely with is TRX, which you're probably familiar with. And I want to use TRX as a really good example how that human versus machine aspect really comes to life. And one feature that we're just starting to implement with them is called TRX Maps. And so TRX Maps is a 3D scanner for skeletal and muscular condition. And it's very easy. The client literally just does 3 squats in front of that 3D scanner, and right away you get scored across different verticals, which then the coach can explain. And what we've been seeing with TRX coaches, it's really an amazing tool to engage clients, right? They can walk them up to the thing, they do the squats, and right away they get insights. And just to give you an example, it scores you on mobility, it scores you on activation and posture. You can actually see in this case, this person is kind of asymmetrical, and it shows you problem areas like shoulder or lower back, and then the coach can create a custom program based on these markers, but also this data goes into our curation engine. So even if you don't have a human coach at your side, this data will feed into the curation engine, and then we can give you workouts and TRX workouts specifically to address your shortcomings. So in closing, I think it's really exciting, and I think we're just scratching the surface, but we really came a long way from kind of what we call dumb tracking, which is is a Fitbit, right? It's like calories and steps. And then we really started to do smart, interactive, real-time coaching and biometric insights. But I think the most exciting part is really connected fitness, where we have a really human approach, where we combine smart, interactive coaching with humans. We have linked equipment, and we have content-driven equipment, which is, I think, is going to really kind of the next frontier. Is like the content, the coaching, and the equipment actually talk to each other and inform each other. And venue integrated, right? Like one thing we do with Fitness Assess right now, if you actually join a Zumba class or whatever, through indoor beacons, we know that you did this class, and that data from that class also goes into your curation engine. So, man versus machine, thank you for listening. And the panel that's following now is going to be on the same topic. So I'd like to ask my panel members to come on to explore this topic further.